Barcelona defeat Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final, a very close game that led to extra time with a last-minute winner by Jules Koundé. Barcelona, they beat Real Madrid in the final Copa del Rey. For me, as a Madrid fan, I didn't have really that high expectations for the game. Recently, pretty much for all 2025, Real Madrid just haven't looked poor. You can even say before even the New Year's, Real Madrid have not been playing like Real Madrid. And coming up for this match, I didn't have high hopes. Just lost to Arsenal. Just getting past Athletic Bilbao with small, decent performances. And sure, you can say I had a little hope. Barcelona, they looked like they were dropping just a little bit in form. They lost to Dortmund. In La Liga, they were close to losing games, getting comebacks against Celta Vigo and Betis and all these 1-0 games, which could have gone for either side. So going to this match, I didn't really have. And when people told me, I say anything can happen in Real Madrid, but looking at the team wise, I just didn't really think Madrid would put up in a performance, depending how the lineup. And usually it's the lineup where I don't agree with Carlos Ancelotti. He usually puts up a lineup where I just don't like the foundation of the team. Players out of positions, players where I think should deserve to start, and it's a shame. I think that team has so much potential. It's just I feel like under the right person, they can definitely get up there. But here we can go into the game with Madrid and Barca. Let's talk about the first half performance here. For me, Barcelona dominated the first 30 to almost 40 minutes of the game. Barcelona looked just like they were just playing way better than Real Madrid. Pedri was really controlling the midfield. Same with Lamine. I think those are the two most important players for Barcelona. If one of them are out, then I feel like the whole team is out. Rafinha, had a bunch of chances this game, but he wasn't able to put it back into the net. He had a little penalty sequence towards the end of the full time where Rafinha dived, and I thought it was a penalty. I saw Asensio. I knew he was gonna make the tackle. He did, and I just stood up. I'm like, "Fuck, it's a pen." It looked clear as day as a penalty, but when you actually look at it, Asensio didn't even touch him. But yeah, just Barcelona just looked for me. I think Real Madrid were the better team during the whole day. For me, which is why it hurts more. The people come up to me, they're like, "Oh, 5, what was the score? 5-2 and 4-0." And for me, I just don't care. I really don't care if we lost that bad because we played bad, and it hurts with this match. It's because we actually looked good. We were the better team. Real Madrid were the better team, without a doubt. With the change for the starting lineup, he played Mendy. I didn't understand that. Mendy just came back from injury. Just came back. He hasn't played in weeks, maybe even a month. And you have this left back, Fran Garcia, who hasn't been injured a single time this year. And you choose a player that just came back from injury just for him to get injured in the first 20 minutes. I don't understand that from Carlos Ancelotti. I can't defend that. I can't. Carlos Ancelotti just makes some brain-dead decisions and stuff like that. I just can't defend. And I hate it. Same with Arsenal in the Champions League final. He decided to start Alaba at left back for both games instead of Fran Garcia. I really don't get that. He'd rather play players out of position. He'd rather play a midfielder in defense. He'd rather play a center back or a midfielder and a left back. He'd rather play a right winger and right back than an actual right back. Sure, they don't really have backups, but you can use an academy player. You can use Asensio at right back, Fede at right back, but no, you continue to use Vasquez. And for me, I say all the time, Vasquez looks amazing at the attack. He looks amazing. For me, Vasquez is one of the best attacking players to get him ball into in the third field. But like I said, Ancelotti, never been a fan of Carlos Ancelotti. As much as he's done so much for Real Madrid and won so many trophies, I just never liked his ideas, his play style, his tactics, nothing. Because he doesn't have any. But, Barcelona just looked better in 30 minutes. But after that, I think Real Madrid really changed the game and the pace for their end. Jude Bellingham looked really good. Rodrigo was poor in the first half, so they did the substitution with Mbappe. But I say around 35th to 40th minute is where Real Madrid looked like, Jude Bellingham got the offside goal, and Real Madrid looked like they were getting back in pace, they were getting into rhythm of the game, and I was like, wait, I haven't seen this from Real Madrid in a while. I haven't seen Real Madrid switch up in pace like this, especially against a Barcelona team in a long time. So then, second half, and I was actually really excited. I was like, Real Madrid looked pretty decent in the last 10, 15 minutes. What can they do this half? And they did the right thing. Subbed out Rodrigo, who looked not that good, and he gets too much hate, but we'll talk about that after. And play Mbappe. So Kylian Mbappe starts with Vinny up top and Jude Bellingham. This is what I like. Sure, I've said it so many times that those front three can't play together, and you, I, I hate to say it, but one of them to go. And I say it all the time. I think Rodrigo's 100% had a better year than Vinny playing wise. Stats for me don't really matter unless you're actually performing good. And Vinny, all of 2025, he's looked poor. Honestly, really, really poor. And one thing I didn't like on Ancelotti is he doesn't have the balls to drop one of his top players, and hence why Real Madrid's performance issues have been happening because he doesn't want to drop. Sure, on paper you don't want to drop him, but if you're playing bad, Rodrigo looks way better than Vinny on the left wing this year, without a doubt, without a doubt. And I'd say, but that Las Palmas game when Rodrigo played on the left and Mbappe was top, sure it's Las Palmas, sure, but that's literally one of the only games Real Madrid looks good this year, and Real Madrid looked really good. So I have to always defend that because that's the only time they looked ever good, and that's literally one of the only times Rodrigo played on the left. And going to the second half, Rodrigo, I said before, Rodrigo didn't look good, so I understood that substitution and Mbappe, and for me, they just looked way better. They had a bunch of chances, the play throughs, the runs. Real Madrid actually looked really, really good. So many chances to score, and Arda Güler when he got subbed in, Modric too. I feel like there wasn't a single bad player in that field besides my favorite player, Brahim Diaz. But we'll get into it later on. But Real Madrid looked obsession. They could have had so many goals, and Arda Güler, Modric, Tchouameni, Vinny Mbappe, Bellingham, they all played good. And then if you want to see in the back line, they dropped Fede down more in the right back and put Modric in the midfield. For me, Ferran Garcia looked really strong in this game. He looked really good. He won the ball back. Sure, he couldn't win him much about with Lamine Yamal. I saw that a lot of times during the game. But it's Lamine Yamal. He's one of the best players in the world. Sure, he's 17, but for me, it doesn't matter. He's still one of the best players in the world. And he's done that to so many other left backs, and especially for a player who didn't expect to even play this game, a player that hasn't played a lot this season, a left back that has so much talent but doesn't get used. Put up a performance like that, I'm happy for it. And for me, Frank Garcia was really one of the most underrated players in that field, on that pitch. And, the two center backs, Rudiger was playing injured. He's playing injured for a while now. You don't have depth, you don't have backups. You do, but you don't want to use them because they're not developed and they're not ready to play in the position that they are right now because of your fault, Carlos Ancelotti. I think Real Madrid as a whole played really good. Of course, there's small mistakes, especially with Brahim Diaz when he got subbed in for Vinny. I think that's when Real Madrid started declining a little bit. They still had many chances, but when Vinny got off the field, it was completely different. Brahim Diaz, he was really good at getting the ball back and pushing up front, but his passing was just really bad. He had so many chances to pass it to Arda, so many chances to pass it or to shoot the ball, and he just didn't. It was like three chances, and he couldn't really. And then it was his fault at the end with that Jules Koundé shot. Modric passed it pretty soft, but Brahim Diaz was right there, and he just didn't really run for it. And then Koundé, who was out of frame, ran for it and scored. And I knew the second Koundé had that ball was going in. So, yeah, that's a really shame for Real Madrid, because for me, this match hurt the most because I know how much. I know they actually could have won this match. It hurts. This hurt more than Arsenal. This hurt more than the other two defeats against Barca. This hurt because Madrid actually looks good, and that's gonna sting me for a while because it's hard seeing your team not playing good for all year, especially having all these type of players, just to put a performance like that and just to lose at the very last seconds of the game. That hurts, man. That really does hurt. But congrats for Barcelona. Barcelona, I'm a huge fan of what they do and the team and the players and the tactics and the coach and everything. I've said it. Huge fans of the players that they have, the rotation that they use, the academy players that they bring up. I'm a huge fan, and I wish Real Madrid would take notes on that. But it depends what coach will come in. If it's a Xavi, which is looking confusing right now with the whole Ancelotti thing, which would be a whole different story. But Yeah, those pretty much my takes with the Real Madrid game. I didn't take notes. It was like a whole party there, a whole Barcelona fans. I was like one of the only Real Madrid ones, so that it did hurt. They were playing all uh, the Barca song, champion songs, everything. But yeah, Real Madrid looked really good. I'm very excited to see, the Liga race is still going on. Only 4 points down. A Classico in 2 weeks. Rudiger just got injured or just had surgery. Mendy's officially out for the year. I think Rudiger's out for the year. Alaba's out for the year. And yeah, our back line is Vallejo or Jacobo, whatever, Jacob Obo, whatever, Frank Garcia, and Vasquez. So these next few games for Real Madrid is going to look really tricky, but we'll see how it gets there. But hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.